Jotaro battles a stand user with the powers of possession in my review of the second episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders. My god, you guys, this series kicks so much ass! It's so manly and awesome! Just overload. Anime badass overload. I cannot get enough of JoJo at this point. I liked the first season of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure when they split it up into two parts. I thought it was a pretty entertaining anime series. It didn't really stick with me too much. But Stardust Crusaders is the balls. It is so awesome and unique. And I love the fact that it's completely taking advantage of this 80s manga series, which I've never actually read. I need to remind you guys that. I am only aware of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure through the anime series. So everything that I'm seeing here is really fresh, and that's probably why it's just constantly blowing my mind with how awesome it looks. But since it's based on an 80s manga series, I'm really glad that they're translating that style to the anime, and it shows. Every character design, whether they be the main characters in the show or even the minor characters in the background, all have a unique design to them, and they just don't look like they just sort of blend in with everybody else. And that's attention to detail that I really, really like. But this episode was just, again, a lot of fun. It's just getting to see more of Jotaro's abilities and getting to see him fight against this brand new opponent by the name of Kakyoin, Noriaki. And he is an assassin who is sent by Dio Brando, the immortal vampire who's just resurrected from the dead, who just took over Jonathan Joestar's body and trying to get a hold of his brand new stand powers, which he was already an immortal vampire. Can't wait to see what his stand abilities are going to be, because everyone seems really unique. And this brand new character by the name of Kakyoin seems like he has some very unique abilities as well. When they first introduced this character, you see that Jotaro is going to school, and it's absolutely hilarious that Jotaro is a high schooler because dude's jacked as hell. He's freaking huge. He's like 7 foot tall. So this Noriaki fella, he has some pretty strange abilities. His first one is he's using his stand abilities to like draw this picture of JoJo, and then he like slashes his leg with this pen, which actually causes this cut on JoJo's leg, and he's falling down these stairs, but his stand is actually able to come out and grab this tree branch and save him. That's just to show us that his stand can help him in a lot of different situations, whether it be just a normal fight or just in some really random situations. And I think that's really cool because it shows they're going to be able to do a lot with that thing. But when they actually get to the main battles, when things just get really intense, because JoJo goes to this nurse's office, and there are these two guys in there who, again, are also high school students who also look like they're freaking in their late 20s, which is hilarious. And they're trying to skip class, and suddenly the nurse starts freaking out with this pen because she's being controlled by that Noriaki guy. And she takes this pen and freaking stabs one of these students right in the eye. It's so messed up and disturbing, so they decide to get the hell out of there because who wants to mess with a crazy nurse stabbing people? And that's when this big battle scene takes place where we're introduced to Noriaki and his stand, which is called the Hierophant Green. Maybe there's going to be a theme with like all the different characters in their stands. They each seem to have like a color name. Like in the last episode we had Abdol's, who had the Magician Red, and now we have the Hierophant Green. But his stand looks like sort of this like cybernetic robotic human who has like all of these green parts all over his body, and it has the ability to inhabit people and to control them and to act independently on its own. And it also has the ability to shoot these like emeralds all over the place, like actual emerald gems that will just mess you up completely. And the first part of the battle is very standard. It's just JoJo getting pushed back. And then eventually when he realizes that when he was trying to save this nurse, he actually ended up hurting her, he gets really pissed off. This scene right here was satisfying as all hell. I'm a huge action anime fan, and I love big flashy special attacks. But I love just a good, well-done punch. And this episode had multiple ones. There was this one first one he hit him with, which was slow-mo action, really well animated. But then he did this thing where his stand actually grabs him by the neck and continuously just pounds on his head like it is so freaking satisfying when that happens because he just beats the crap out of this guy, and it leaves this like shockwave explosion which sends this blood flying all over the place. If you're into action anime at all, check out Stardust Crusaders. It will do nothing but blow you away with how much fun it is. Now, I don't think this is going to be a very deep show. I don't expect the show to affect me too much on a philosophical level too much. But just as a fan of animation and of action and of just really cool characters like straight out of the comics, This is a show that I think can appeal to a lot of people. It's just plain good old action anime fun. So this episode pretty much had it where it counted in terms of just a good fun action anime series. The art style and the animation was great this week. That fight scene was really exhilarating, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do with this Noriaki character, because he's actually revealed to have this weird, like, squid thing in his, like, forehead, which is controlling him, I guess. So I think he's going to become, like, a good side character with JoJo. And if you guys didn't realize, there is a brand new intro this week, which is one of the most flashiest, gorgeous intros I have ever seen. It's really exciting. It just sort of gives you, like, a whole roster lineup of all the characters that are going to be appearing throughout Stardust Crusaders. But it's done in this, like, CG style, and it's very appealing. It almost seems like a fighting game cutscene, like something out of, like, Capcom, almost. It sort of reminds me of, like, Street Fighter 4 style, or there even is this, I just recently saw there's this JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fighting game, which I think is on PS3, and it actually looks pretty damn awesome. But still, the intro was fantastic. It's very similar to the style they used for the first intros of the second season, but this one just goes insane. This series looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I like that they're changing a lot of things too. And also, more importantly, I like the fact that in every single season, each JoJo character manages to be completely different from the last. This JoJo here, Jotaro Kujo, is a complete dick. He's a Japanese punk. He's an asshole, but he does have some standards. And that's why he decides to help out everybody at the end and take out this Noriaki guy. And I can't wait to see how his character is going to evolve as the series goes on. And of course, I can't wait to see how his badass stand powers are going to evolve as well. But otherwise, I loved this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. Again, I recommend this series to anyone who is into action anime. You will not be disappointed. It is awesome. So, if you guys had a chance to check out this week's episode of Stardust Crusaders, I would love to hear your thoughts about it. Did you think this episode was good? Did you think it was bad? What did you think of the fight scene between Jotaro and Noriaki? Also, guys, remember, before you leave, make sure and hit that like button so you can give this video a thumbs up. It's really easy to do, and it helps out these videos tremendously. And if you want, you could subscribe to our channel so you could see all of our latest content. We are reviewing a ton of different anime and manga series, so make sure and check that out. Also, guys, we are on Facebook, we are on Twitter. Check those out. I'll put links to those in the description box below. So, I'll see you next time, guys. Super Kami Guru 9000, out.